Hi everyone, my name's Ryan Latta and I'm here to give a quick little video about how I go about doing test-driven development. I thought about doing this video after a friend came and we were talking about a relatively simple problem, but he was having kind of a brain fart moment, which made me think, well, am I crazy? So I did a solution using TDD to prove none of us are crazy. And that problem that he gave was simple enough that I thought, hey, this would be an easy way to show at least how I go about doing TDD, and maybe that's helpful for others as well. So let's get into it. Let's see what it looks like. So the problem that my friend was having was one that most developers will solve many times in their career, which is you need to find the largest item in a set. And the reason why that you have to keep solving it is because sets are typically unsorted. So you have to do something special to get the largest item out of a set because you care about uniqueness more than everything else. So you have to kind of do these little things over and over again. And he was wondering if he had been doing it wrong most of his career. So let's talk about the problem of finding the largest item in a set. So what I'm going to do is just describe that. We're going to say finding the largest item in a set. I'm going to run the test. Don't have that set up. T spec. There we go. Test ran. I do that all the time, especially in an interpreted or dynamic language, just to keep me from making mistakes with syntax or anything else goofy. I'll just do it over and over again, and it just, for me, it'll just, the cycle will just look like that. That's about as long as it takes. Now that we've described the problem with finding the largest, let's describe one of the behaviors. So let's say that it returns the largest item in a set of 1. Simple enough case, and I chose this test because it's an arbitrary thing I'll have to solve, so I just picked it. There is an art to picking your next test, but when you're starting off, it kind of doesn't matter. You just pick a spot, and you can work out from it. So I've chosen that, and now I'm going to proceed to create a test that fails. I have to see it fail, and the way I do it is I just write the code that I wish existed, and that will fail because it doesn't exist. So let's get to it. So I need a set, and I need to put one thing in it. There we go. I also want my method, which I'm going to call findMax, to take that set and give me the largest item back, and I expect that value to equal 20. That's it, and it fails. Real quick pause here. These failures over time, at first they'll be like, what is this? But over time, as you do these cycles over and over and over again, what you'll actually see is that you're going to learn how your tools and systems and code actually communicate back with you. If you've ever seen a stack trace and you have no idea what it's on about, well, that's because you don't understand how to communicate back. And this TDD cycle will actually teach you how you both how it communicates, and then you'll understand it, and then you'll know what to do with it. So really quick, here's the line: no method error, undefined method, find max. And going at my normal speed, I would just go like that, and then it'd be done. That's enough for me to see the error. It's just practice. So I'll put in the method, and here we go. And I'll do this next round as fast as I normally would. There we go. So that was saying that this was a problem. I'm gonna do it again, and then you may not have caught that. That's 2 different failures, so I'll show you again. So I just ran that test twice. This is the problem. Before that, it was saying no method error. I do this quickly enough that I can catch it, but now that I know that this isn't, each one of these is a different failure, and that's progress for me. I don't know if I'm going in the right direction, but I know every time they're giving me an error, I'm getting past that one error, and eventually I won't have any more errors. So this is saying expected 20 got nil. Easiest thing for me to do is do this, and boop, green dot, so we're good. At this point, we have a passing test, so I can refactor, clean things up if I want. I don't really have a whole lot to change. I don't like the word returns right now. I'm going to do finds. That's about all I'm going to do. I can change the code in the tests, and this is not really working code, but I'm not going to use this time to fix that code because I don't have tests to show me that I'm going to get it right. And if I write a lot of code, I've actually created a lot of assumptions, a lot of steps that could be wrong. And if I make a mistake in one of them, I now have to check all of them. I have to debug all that stuff. You might think this is a small problem, who cares? But if you've ever stared at your code and you realized it was something simple like 2 letters were in the wrong place, it probably took you like 20 minutes of staring. I don't want to spend 20 minutes doing that. So really small step, quick verification, small step verification. So I'm going to use my test to force me to do this. And the way to do that is write a test that forces me to do something different. So a more advanced behavior is finds the largest item in a set of many, right? That'll help. So I'm going to grab this and plop that in here. So I'm going to do a 5. I'm going to put the 20 in the middle so I know it's actually doing something. I should still get 20. But here's the problem. I run the test, I still get a pass. And the reason is I hard-coded 20, so I'm going to make this a 5. Now it should fail, right? Because I expected 25, but all this gives back is 20. Now I have to change this implementation. So now I have to put a solution that works. And here's the basic solution that my friend and I, that this is what we kind of use with some variation. So what I need is something to hold the largest value, and I'm going to go ahead and set it to the first item in the set. And if I ran it right now, I'll have the same things. Actually, yep, same failure, right? First item there is the highest, so it worked. Didn't work at the second time. Now what I need to do is go through the set, and for every time we look, I'm going to replace this current highest value item if the item is higher than the current one. And we'll return that. And we should get a pass. There we go. So we've got the basic behavior down. Let's go further with it. In the case my friend was worried about, he was worried about negative numbers. Finds the largest item in a set of negative numbers. And I'm going to plop that stuff back in. And time to make these negatives. So we'll do a negative that, -5, -20. So -5 would be the largest, and we're still green. Now at this point we have a problem because I just did a green test without seeing it fail, which means I don't know if anything's actually being executed. This could be a simple assert true as true test. So I need to actually swap it for something that should fail, see it fail, and now I know it's actually testing something. And we're back. Now, this covers the basic cases of finding the largest item, but there's still some things we can do. First, what happens if I give it an empty set? Well, gives nil if the set is empty. Right, and we'll plop that back in. And we're going to give it a new set with nothing in it, and I want nil, and this should pass. And the reason is because up here, an empty set still responds to val. Val is nil. There's nothing in it, and it falls out. So this still works. And again, just to make sure I'm not crazy, watch it fail once, right? Got nil, which is what I wanted. So everything is actually being executed, and we're good. Now let's take it further. It gives nil if nil is passed in. Now this one is not going to go so well, or at least it shouldn't, I should say, because I didn't check to see if, let's see, if I have this correct, and there we go. And this, again, here we go, set.first, no method, undefined first on nil, which is what we'd expect. Nil doesn't do this at all, so I need to have a guard clause to protect me. So return nil if set.nil. And we're green. And this is basically it. This is as far as I needed to go to prove that I can kind of solve this problem. Now, I have tests to cover a case where the set has one item, where it has several, where it's negative, where I pass some garbage in. Pretty complete. It's a lot of tests to cover just these few lines, but I will sleep well at night with it. And here's another thing that I can do. Instead of me assuming this works and finding out I was wrong, what I can do is actually this. I can change the implementation and I'll still know it works. So I'm going to give a different way to solve this problem. Set.to array sort last. And bam. This is a different way to do it. You take the set, you turn it into something you can sort, like an array, sort that thing, and then take either the first or the last, depending on which order you sorted it in. That's also a way to solve this problem. You may choose a different implementation based on different constraints, but I still know that my solution, both of them are valid. They still have the same behaviors. There's no funkiness to this because of these tests protect me while I change implementation under the covers. That's one of the points of this. These tests are testing the behavior from the outside, not the details inside. And this allows me to have that flexibility, which is pretty cool. Even if this example is trivial, you can imagine a less trivial example, and now you have the flexibility to change your code inside in your implementation while knowing you have the same behaviors. So this is how I do TDD. I didn't have to do a lot of refactoring because this is all pretty straightforward. Just one thing I might do is, we'll say, I'm just going to wrap some of the goofy tests here in something so I can see them and organize them. Because these kinds of tests here, where you test like inputs or cases that really shouldn't happen, or they're sort of just protecting you from strange, these have different words for them. One of them that I know of is degenerate tests, but I'm going to put them here just so I can see them. And that way, if I have more I want to add, I can put it here. So that's a small refactoring I can do just to keep the tests a little tidier. But otherwise, my solution's done, my tests are done, and I know I'm not crazy. I hope this video is helpful for you and encourages all of you to give TDD a shot. And good luck out there. Thanks.